Hi, this is Asmi from Solthara, and come unbox the first ever edition of Cosmic Starlight with me. I designed this journal to help everyone be the best version of themselves. And I'm so excited to show it to you today. So you can see there is navy blue vegan leather on the cover with a silver debossed title, as well as on the spine. And we've got the company name on the back. As you open up the journal, you can see these beautiful ends pages. I really wanted something to remind us of the night sky. We've got another ends page and a title page, and it's gonna come with this beautiful insert just as a little thank you for your purchase. And we've got the page where you can write your name. You're ready to be the best version of yourself. A welcome letter, a little bit about me and this journal, an introduction to how to use this journal, what it's an invitation for, how to navigate the journal. So there's a few different ways you can do it because it is probably going to take more than one day to fill it out. So I would go through a sequential option as well as a choose your journey. So kind of like a choose your own adventure, but for self-development. You can see the table of contents here with all of the different sections. The ritual that my husband and I do every year with this journal and kind of how you can incorporate and make it your version. An opening invocation. This is just a sample and a suggestion if you'd like to incorporate this into your ritual. A closing invocation. There are details on how to do a fire ceremony. This is something that my husband and I have been doing for a few years, and it's a really great way to release old emotions, old thoughts, things that are no longer serving you. There's a highlight section for the previous year, so you can kind of go through old pictures and emails and write down all of the great things that happened. I find that so often we fly through the year, and then when we're in December, we barely remember what we did in January or February, but if we go back and look, there'll have been so many great moments that we really want to remember and capture. A good vibe section to help you think of all of the things to be positive and grateful for in your life. So we've got fundamentals. So these are just like the basic things like food, shelter, water, the ability to breathe, the people in your life that you're grateful for. There's this section called time travel to help you think back to your previous self 5 or 10 years ago and what that version would be so grateful for that you've got in your life today. Accomplishments, the things that you accomplished in the past year, how you've grown, what you've learned. So this could be, reading books, listening to podcasts, if you took any classes. And then there's a whole section on self-love because no matter where you are in your journey, you can always love yourself a little bit more. There's an exercise to go through your values. This may be the first time you were doing it, or it might just be a refresher to really sit down and crystallize what are those things that you value and how do you prioritize those values in your life. Heroes and gurus, an opportunity to think about the people that inspire you and whose attributes you want to emulate in your life. Then after you do all this and think about all the great things in the year, there's another section for letting go. And the reason is no matter how much we let go, there's always more to let go of. So we can let go of any mistakes that we've made that are still holding us back. Habits that are no longer serving us, experiences that we still think about and we hold, maybe relationships that are not serving us in their current form and need to change. And there's a whole forgiveness exercise because forgiveness is really important. And it's all about you. It's not about the other person, but it's letting go of that weight that you're holding on to. And so there's a section for both forgiveness for yourself and forgiveness for others. And as I forgot to mention, along with the journal, there's going to be a bunch of different bonuses. And at the bottom of the relevant section, you'll see this little sign and it'll tell you what the associated bonus is. Then we've got energy management. And so this is one section that I've gotten the most positive feedback from people when I've been showing them early prototypes of the journal. There's a framework for you to think about what are the things, people, and activities that energize you and drain you. And you can go through and then list them out. So people, places, activities. And you can see that this is really nice, thick quality, premium paper. This is going to be really sturdy. You're going to be able to write on it with a pen, with colored pencils, and it's going to hold up. And then I've got some what I call a high energy guide. So these are suggestions on how to deal with people, places, and activities so that you can really maintain your energy and have energy for the things you love in your life. And this is, not about being Pollyanna-ish and saying, oh, I'm never going to talk to this person or I'm never going to do this. But how can we manage ourselves and our energy better so that we're the best version of ourselves? We can't change everyone else, but we can change ourselves. Then I have a section on energetic cord cutting. This comes from my energy healing practice. And this is really such a powerful way to clear out energy that's no longer serving you and really just tune into yourself. We then have a section on time inventory. This is another one that got a ton of positive feedback when I was sharing this with people. And you basically go through, how are you spending an average week? And where would you like to make changes? Because so often we're so busy and caught up in the day-to-day that we're not even realizing how we're spending our time. And maybe there are things that we want to optimize a little bit and then have more time for either friends and family, self-care, personal development, and this will help you see that. Then we have states of wellness. So this is going to help you go through different areas of your life and rate each one from 1 to 10 so you can understand where you are at. We go through physical health, mental health, self-image, family relationship, friends, romantic relationship, spirituality, service, career, finances, growth. And here's this beautiful ribbon bookmark that's also inside the journal that can help you keep your place if you end up splitting up filling this out over the course of a few days. Passions. And then finally a snapshot where you get to take the scores from all the previous pages and color this in, and you'll get to see, hey, what areas of life are really strong? And maybe what areas of life do I want to work on for the next year? Then we have chakra health. So this is using my experience as a yoga teacher and energy healing student to go through and use the chakras as a framework for emotions and going through and really seeing, for these different categories of emotions, where do I fall? Am I balanced? Am I overactive? Am I underactive? And so we go through the 7 main chakras. And once again, there's a little area for you to kind of fill it out and get a snapshot view of how you're doing. And then I go through some suggestions on how to heal imbalances. And there's a lovely set of chakra affirmations that you can incorporate into your practice to help strengthen certain emotions and emotional patterns that you want to. Life upgrades. So now that you've done that wellness snapshot and the chakra health assessment, you might have an idea of where are things that you want to change and upgrade in your life. And so I go through some suggestions of maybe what are some either life habits or emotional habits that you want to change. But of course, it's all about what you want to do. These are just some suggestions. We talk about how to set SMART goals that are achievable and realistic and help you stay on track. And then you can list out what those upgrades are here. And it's up to 3, but you don't have to do that many, whatever feels right to you. And now there's a section on resetting, because as we go through life, we're gonna get off balance. That's just how life is. There's stress, there's surprises, there's things we are not sure about or we don't know. And so here I give a suggestion of some self-care tips. These are ones that I incorporate regularly into my life. And there's a section for you to write about how you plan to take care of yourself in this new year. You can also sketch or add in pictures if you want. We then talk about energy hygiene. And you can maybe list on techniques that you want to implement in your life. And then there's this section called the big goals, because no matter who you are, I'm sure you've got one or more dreams in your heart and you're just ready to go and bring them out into the world. But sometimes we can have maybe fear and doubt hold us back. And so hopefully this section can help you push past that. And what each goal comes with is, what is it? What is the end impact of it? And this is really like going to the why of why do you want that goal? What are maybe fears and doubts that come up as you think about this goal? And what are some concrete action steps that you can take to start making progress towards that goal? And now we zoom out, the big picture. As we think about the new year, 2025, what is the energy that you want to bring to this new year? And so you get to fill out the theme, the one new thing you want to commit to doing in the new year, what your superpowers are, and what are your treasures? How do you show up and share love with the others in your life? How do you want your inner world to be, your outer world? And there's a section on life purpose. I know this can feel like a weighty topic, but this is really just to begin or to continue the conversation. It's not the end all and be all, but you can start thinking about, what are your gifts? What are the things that bring meaning to your life? And how can you share this with others in the world? And this can be big, it can be small. It just has to have meaning for you. And another thing I want to point out is that this is not super long. I'm not expecting you to spend hours on each page. It's really to get this overview of your life and where you are so that you can live your life with intention. There's a section for you to list out affirmations that maybe you want to incorporate into your practice. There's what I call the joy list. And so these are things that bring you joy and that you can come back to this list anytime you feel down. On the next page, I've got some suggestions of categories that might be calling to you. But as always, it's all about you and what you want to write down or sketch. Your future self, start thinking about who do you want to be in the next 5 or 10 years. Some daydreaming section. We all need to have big, beautiful, bright dreams and spend some time thinking about them. And then inspiration. This is kind of my version of a vision board. You can write down thoughts and phrases, pictures, things that really inspire you and are going to spark that sense of joy, of optimism, of positivity. And then yay, you've completed this whole journal. Isn't that amazing? So we spent a little time celebrating together. And then this is a check-in section for, ideally you fill this journal out at the end of December, beginning of January. And then as you implement changes, this is an opportunity for you to check in. So on those life upgrades, how are you doing each quarter? And, are there any adjustments that you need to make? I've definitely had it previously where I thought I wanted to incorporate a new habit. And a month in, I had to adjust because priorities in my life changed. And that's okay too. And this is your space to check in on that. We check in on our goals, and you can fill this out whenever you want, but what's the progress you've made? Are there any roadblocks you encountered? And what are your next steps? And then there's a notes section because there is so much content in this journal. If you need extra space, this is where you can go. Take notes. We've got some blank pages as well. And there's this little quote at the end. It's a little inspiration. And that's it. This is all of Cosmic Starlight.